Welcome back to Stamping at the Warren, and I'm Kim Tolton, and today I have something a little bit different, completely out of my comfort zone. It's a technique to show you, and it's just one of those cards for one of those moments where there simply isn't any real words, so you just want to let people know you're thinking of them. But I want to show you this technique of how to give the impression that you have embossed your card. In fact, we are going to emboss it, and you're also then going to add an extra layer to it, and it's using the, well, I've got the wrong die frame, it's the Rose Garden Thin Lit dies. So this is the main one, so we're going to be die cutting but also embossing, so you can use your dies for both. And I've got a slightly different fold for you today, so again, just to take you out of your comfort zone. So this is 26.6 centimetres, 29.6 centimetres long by 10.5 centimetres wide, and then it is scored in the middle at 14.8. Same as always, ridge in the middle, meet the ends, bring it down, and then with your bone folder just make a nice crisp fold, and that gives you a nice tall card to be playing with. Right, so the first thing that I've done is going to be for the embossing part. So what I've actually done is using, I'll show you here, so using the framelits, and you just want to trace around. So if you look here, hopefully you can see on here, what I did was I actually traced around the outside of the die, so literally just like this with a pencil, and I just had it as I would want it finished on the piece of cardstock. So just literally draw around, and then I've used my paper snips just to cut around on that edge, and that leaves you with a piece of cardstock here. And this is Rich Razzleberry I'm using from the Brights collection today, and it's on black, so it is a very dramatic looking card. So the first thing to do is to die cut, it's to emboss this piece of card. So what you're going to do is this will go over the top of here, matching it all up. So this bit is going to be through your die cutter, your big shot. You want the magnetic platform. We're actually going to be using different platforms. You don't actually want the magnetic platform, I'm telling fibs. So you want the multi-purpose platform on tab 2. You then want to put your die down and just lost my post-it notes, but it's getting very late in the day, so I'm getting tired now. This is my 6 of 7 shoots, and trying to compete with puppy barking and men next door doing stuff as well. Right, so you will need one of these. This is an extended one because I couldn't find my standard one, but this is a crease mat. So this goes on instead of the top acrylic plate, and this then goes through your big shot. And it won't actually so it embosses, can you see there? So it embosses the cardstock, okay? And you are then going to die cut one of these. So you don't need the crease mat now. But you do want a piece of cardstock, just cut roughly to size, and then swap this for the magnetic platform. And you want your acrylic plate, then your cardstock with your die face down, and then your top acrylic plate. And this just goes through as usual. Pop it backwards and forwards a couple of times. Something just dropped on the floor, not sure what. Obviously push something off. Right, there you go. And that's not fully come through. Oh yes, it has it? No. I'm just going to take some bits off. It hasn't fully cut out, so I'm just going to pop the die back on. I'll tell you why, because I didn't put my shims on, did I? Naughty lady. Right, made work for myself now. Put that down there. All you do is match up all your lines. If you get in the same pickle again as me, you just let your die match up all the lines, and what you find is the die will just slot back in. And I need my top acrylic plate. I bet that's what fell on the floor, was my shims. Right, let's pop couple of bits of cardstock through with it instead then. Okie doke. So back we go. That sounded a bit more promising. There we are. It's a really pretty die, this one. And just as yesterday's one, just flick out all those loose bits and they'll just all drop away. Some of the really tiny ones right in the middle there you might have to pop out, but that's it, they're out. So you should now have, pop those away, you will have, pop that away. So there should be the embossed piece there. Is that it? I'm really losing the plot now, you know. And then your die cut piece which goes over the top. And the best thing to use for this is a fine tip blue pen, and you just want to go all the way around. Don't overdo the glue, otherwise you end up with globby bits. And we're going to be finishing this off with a Wink of Stella, which is a beautiful, really fine glitter glue pen, which isn't really a pen, it's a brush. And it's just beautiful. It just gives this lovely hint of colour, and it's available in gold or clear, and I'm using the clear one today. But it almost has a mother of pearl effect, purely because it's so fine. You just seem to get different colours coming every time you look at it at a different angle. It's the most beautiful thing, and it actually goes quite a long way. And there's a squidgy bit in the middle of the pen, and if your if your glitter isn't flowing fully, and that's usually because you've used it on a large piece of work, you just squeeze that squidgy bit until you just see the glitter coming through into the brush again, and then you can leave it be. Nearly there. And I got this idea because the demonstrators in the States had a really beautiful flower die that embossed. Trying to remember the name of it now, but it's been popping up on Pinterest quite a lot because it is so very similar to this new set, and that's where I kind of got the inspiration from for today. So you just want to pop this down over the top, start in one corner so that you're getting everything in the right place. Would help, wouldn't it? No, I was right. See, I told you, tired. Ah, that will be why. There we go, I had it upside down. Stupid me. So that's embossed the cardstock underneath, and the only difference is that you use that crease mat, which you can purchase quite readily. There you go. Get that tip back on before it starts clogging up, and just use your finger as a guide and then twist it on gently. So that's the main element of your card, and then we want the card base, which, oh lordy lord, it really has been a very long day today. I can't see my card base. Can you see my card base? There, hiding underneath the shims I couldn't find. Oh my goodness. Right, so this is just going to go down on here like this. Leave a little gap so it looks as if it's matte in the normal way. I'm just going to use some fast fuse. You can see the embossing on this side as well, look. And I think it's really pretty, this die set. So that's the basis of your card. Now what we're going to do is use the Wink of Stella pen before I die cut the sentiment, because this will then be dry by the time we're ready to put the die cut on. And we're just going to go all over that embossed card and the die cut that we've laid down on top of it. I'm sorry I'm so ditzy today. As the day goes on, my pain has been building up, and then the pain starts to distract me, and then my brain doesn't think quite right. But after battling the, thankfully, the tree surgeons have finally gone home, which I'm very grateful for. I'm a little bit sad to see so many of next door's trees going actually, but never mind. It's not my garden to make the decision, so I'm sure they'll all be back in full bloom come spring. And I'm yakking away just purely to fill silence, really, because it's very boring talking to yourself all the time. And you just periodically want to squeeze this piece here, and that will just release a little bit more of the glitter glue. I don't know if it will show on camera just how shimmery this glue is. It's just beautiful. And it will give a little bit of a shine to what is essentially a card usually given during very sad times. But that doesn't mean they shouldn't be pretty and thoughtful. We all have times where we need to know and feel that we're loved and cared and supported, don't we? Nearly there. There you go. So that's the glittering. I'm just going to pop that there whilst we do the sentiment and the die cut. So I'm going to do the sentiment. Now, I know I always tell you, don't use basic black and basic grey on photopolymer. Stampin' Up don't recommend it. However, sometimes black is what you need, and as this is a black based card, there really isn't anything else that I can use. So I'm going to show you the alternative way around that will still protect your stamp, but personally I wouldn't do this on a regular basis. So first of all, you want to ink up your label that comes with the Rose Wonder stamp set, and stamp that onto a piece of shimmery white cardstock. I don't like that one. I'm so used to the regular stamp sets that I've been struggling with the archival ones, because you need to put a bit more pressure on when you're inking them up, whereas the other ink pads are really juicy and you don't need to do that at all. It's a really light touch, so I usually teach people tap tap tap, tap tap tap, tap tap tap, but you need a bit more of a bang 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 with the photopolymer. And then I have got the sentiment from the same stamp set that says there are some things, for some things there are just no words. There we go. And then that is going to be die cut using the magnetic platform. You could cut it by hand, I guess. I think you get a nice finish with the big shot. So back up comes the big shot. I did tell you it was going to be up and down today, didn't I? Right, so we're going magnetic platform this time, which I bet I've put away over there. Or is it in here? No, it's in here, look. Right, I'm sorry, I feel very disorganised for this particular video, but there you are. We all have these days. And we all have to cope with these days. Now if you can see, the die isn't completely, it keeps moving. So just move position of the cardstock, and it's because the magnetic platform is made up of lots and lots, hundreds of tiny tiny magnets, and so every so often, like the polarity of it seems to go off, and you have a wayward piece of your die goes wayward, basically. So there we are, that's that cut. And that's it. Now for the big shot, we're done. And my last one of the day won't be using the big shot at all. So we should go quite nice and quick and simple. Right, all we need to do now, this is dry. Just some stamping dimensionals on the back of here. And I've got lots of odds and sods, which is perfect for using on labels. So you just want to cut a couple of pieces from these edge bits. One for that one for that side, one for this side. And it uses up all those odds and sods, because I can't bear waste, as you know. Take the backing off and mount that wherever you feel it's most appropriate. And that's it. It's been a little bit higgledy-piggledy in this shoot, so I do apologise, but I hope you'll bear with me, and I promise to try better with the next video. So there is your card, and you've got that side fold, so it's a mountain fold card, if you see that, so it opens that way, and it's quite a nice card, and I quite like them when they're in this orientation of card, for side cards for landscapes. So there you go. As always, please leave your comments, nice ones. Well, not necessarily nice, but please use constructive criticism, questions, topics that you'd like covered, anything like that. All I know what I was going to show you is what to do if you do end up using the archival inks on your stamps. So your first job is to use a StazOn or equivalent ink cleaner. Stampin' Up does sell StazOn ink cleaner. So apply that to your stamps. Get your kitchen towel and wipe it off. Do not use alcohol inks on your photopolymer stamps, as that will also damage them. So just wipe off as much ink as you can. Obviously photopolymer does stain, but it will get off the sort of build up that can happen if you don't clean your stamps. Now the next bit is you should then use your stamping mist, and this is what will condition those stamps and protect them for the odd time that you have to use an archival ink with a photopolymer stamp. But don't do it as a general thing, and as I say, it is not recommended by Stampin' Up, so at your own peril be it if you choose to do so. There you go, and they're now conditioned and can go back in, and that's it. So that's it for today. Thank you so much, and thank you so much for bearing with me. I know I've been a dizzy head today, and I'll speak to you again tomorrow with a new one. And as a sneaky peeky, I'll show you the stamp set that we're using tomorrow. It's a she. It was here, but it's one of the celebration ones, and it's a really pretty flowery one, and we ladies love our flowery stamps. So yeah, I'll be doing that in a moment, and after I've had a good coffee just to wake me up. And that's it for today. See you tomorrow. Bye for now.